Fellas, AC here. Welcome to another review. Today I'm going to do a list, and this list is basically a sequel to the list I did last week, which was around most worn fragrances of autumn and winter 2024-2025. The only difference is this time I'm going to include only budget fragrances, and these budget fragrances are so good that they never made me feel as if I was wearing something absolutely bargain basement prices. They have good quality, good composition intelligence, and they come across as one of the nicest, well-made fragrances in my collection. I'm a big fan of all types of fragrances, and I think this sort of list will help people with limited budgets find or discover some good fragrances. So let's start. The first one on my list is a fragrance which has been in my collection since 2015. Every time I wear it, I'm bound to get a compliment, and most importantly, it raises my spirits. It's a real pick-me-up kind of a fragrance. It's a very well-known fragrance. This is Club de Nuit Intense Man by Muff. All the fragrances in this list have been reviewed by myself, and I'll get to a fragrance bar one. When I get to that one, I'll let you know. So, Club de Nuit Intense Man is a clone of Aventus, and it is a smokier, spicier version of Aventus. Aventus used to be like that when it was released back in 2010, and there are many versions of Club de Nuit Intense Man. There are many clones of Aventus, but this one, the original EDT, is my favorite. I've tried almost all of them. I've not tried the recent ones, but this one is absolutely fantastic. If Aventus needed any sort of introduction, this is basically a fantastic citrus woody chypre. So it's got mossy woodiness as a base, a very beautiful juicy fruits, pineapple, blackcurrant, green apple, and flowers, jasmine, and beautiful bergamot. It is one of the most instantly identifiable scent signatures in this whole world, and still, whenever I put this on, it makes me very, very happy. If you haven't got this in your collection, the EDT, I highly urge you to try it. I'm sure you've tried it. If you haven't, I'm sure you got one or the other versions of Aventus. This one is really, really good. If you haven't tried it, please try it if you can. Next one on my list is a clone of one half of Ombre Nomade. Ombre Nomade, in my recent times, and I've reviewed Ombre Nomade as well, is one of the most amazingly luxurious and complex fragrance with enormous depth, made by a maestro, Jacques Cavalier. I absolutely adore his work, and this fragrance is called Opulent Oud by Latafa. I paid £13, I think, for this. It's available for less than £20, and this fragrance aims that high. So it's trying to do Ombre Nomade at absolute dirt cheap prices, but the first half of it. So basically, this is a jammy rose with saffron and spices and woods and inky oud. That's the bit. So this has got a smoky, inky oud. What a beautiful achievement this is, guys. And it also is more caramelly. There's no caramel in Ombre Nomade, but here, to give it more substantial weight, this fragrance is terrific. For the money you pay, there are many oud and saffron and rose combinations available, but for the money you pay, you get a very, very good fragrance. I've done a full review, check it out. This is very suitable when you're going to be spending most of your time on a cold day outdoors, because something happens to this fragrance when it mixes with fresh air, and it creates this beautiful scent cloud, and people just go, oh, okay, who's that then? That sort of reaction, people get curious about what you're wearing, especially if you've got 2 or 3 on your shirt or on your sweater or jacket. Incredible fragrance. Next on my list is not that cheap, but it is again an incredible fragrance. There's a number to this, which I'll put on the list. It's a Rosasi, and this is a Port Louis, and this is the Leopard. There's a number, 94 something, I'll put on the screen. And this was a hideously named fragrance. These are all 50 mls. These ones, the Port Louis, and they are expensive, 25, 30 pounds for 60 ml, 50 ml. But the fragrance is nothing less than niche quality. It reminds me of many fragrances. The most importantly, it reminds me of Black Afghano by Nasomato, and it's a mix between Black Afghano and a little bit of Pardon by Nasomato, but also it is a powdery, more smokier version, or at least first half of Jubilation 25. You can see 3 or 4 different fragrances it reminds me of. It has a beautiful woody smoky character, so sandalwood, oudwood, cedar. It also has this radiance, iris, and a smoky spiciness, cloves. If you don't like cloves, and patchouli, very strong patchouli. If you don't like strong patchouli and cloves, don't go anywhere near it. This is a strong fragrance. It has superb projection, very, very good scent cloud, but it's not one of those that goes and reaches people in the next room. It creates a very beautiful oriental, woody, smoky cloud around you, and it is absolutely amazing. As I said, niche quality fragrance. If you have some experience with fragrances that are complex and woody, try this one. If you have no experience with sort of niche fragrances, you may or may not like it. Next one has no such problem. It is a very, very cheap fragrance. It is called Latafa Qaed Al-Fursan. Qaed Al-Fursan is again a take on a Ventus-like DNA and making it more masculine. So this one has a very juicy pineapple. But it also, I've recently done a full review, it also has a very, very rich and prominent green notes. So the one that really is dear to me is fir balsam, and it's mixed with woods. So it gives them off an impression of a person which is Ventus or Hachivat, like Nishan is Hachivat. It also has oak moss with 80s or 70s style masculine butch sort of personality. So this is basically Hachivat with testosterone overload. That's the closest I can give you the analogy. The smell is absolutely amazing for in between weather. So autumn and spring. This is green. This is fresh woody. This is extremely juicy and spicy. All at the same time with incredible performance. This has absolutely gun performance. It just jumps off your skin. And it smells so classy and masculine, nobody will think that you are wearing a very cheap fragrance. It costs less than 15 pounds. At least it did to me. Might have increased a little bit. I'm not very sure, but can't be more than 20 pounds. The Tafas are doing an amazing job producing these absolute dirt cheap fragrances with high quality. Next one is not that cheap, but it is again a niche quality fragrance which has become even better with time. I gave it a 9, then I upgraded it to a 10 out of 10. That's the kind of fragrance this is. This is Bentley Absolute, Bentley for Men Absolute, and this fragrance. This is a balsamic, woody, resinous incense. It tries to do Gucci Purom. It succeeds in doing that. There are beautiful notes of pink pepper, elemi, papyrus, my favorite note, one of my favorite notes, which makes it so masculine. And then in the base, there is absolutely amazing smoky, ambery sandalwood with vanilla, touch of vanilla. This is an incredible fragrance, but you have to give it time. This gets better in bottle. So once you get it, if you haven't got it, give it some time, about 6 to 8 months, maybe a year, and it transforms into a smell that you would come to adore. And if you don't like incense, still give it some time. It's quite incensey, but it's not smoky, churchy, but it's cold, sour incensey because of elemi. Very contemplative, very meditative, absolutely brilliant when you're staying indoors, watching television, doing your work, or whatever. It is very, very cozy. For the price, this is a bargain. This kind of fragrance or perfumery is very rare. Next in my list is a fragrance that I haven't reviewed yet, and the only fragrance that has not been reviewed in this list. Incredible fragrance with performance and smell. This is Paris Corner Rifaqat. Paris Corner Rifaqat is a take on Baby Cat by YSL. I haven't tried YSL's Baby Cat, but this again is like the Bentley. I bought it, I think September last year. Haven't reviewed it yet. I wanted it to macerate, and at the moment it smells absolutely next level. So this is rich vanilla, but when I got it, the rich vanilla also had a rubbery smell, and it also had this burning smell as if something has been charred or vanilla charred. So it wasn't as nice as I thought it would be. It was also a bit overwhelming on that charry, rubbery smell. They seem to have toned down, and this has now become one of the most attractive, warm, spicy, peppery, sort of a chili flake-like smell mixed with one of the most richest comfy vanilla you can think of. It's an experience, I tell you. If Baby Cat smells anything like this, I can understand the reason why it keeps going out of production, because there's huge demand for that fragrance. But this one, it has gun performance. It smells rich, deep, very attractive, and it gets attention because of its enormous projection and brilliant sillage. Performance is the biggest part of this fragrance. If you like fragrances with heavy performance, Rifaqat should be top of your list. And the best thing is, the prices have almost halved. I checked on Amazon today, and the price I got it for £39. This is available on Amazon here in the UK for £16 or £17, I think. I may be a little bit off. I can't remember exactly how much I saw it for, but it's less than half. And this is an 80 ml bottle, so this is not exactly a cheapie, but the prices are good now to get this. It's a very rich fragrance, so you have to be in the mood to wear such a fragrance. Next on my list is a very well-known fragrance. It's in the community. This is very famous, and it's an Oriental spicy. Love that sort of fragrance. And this is Boucheron Jaipur Pour Eau de Parfum. Jaipur Pour Eau de Parfum is accomplished perfumery. This is so many things at the same time. It's a gourmand, Oriental gourmand. Along with that Oriental gourmand, this is a woody aromatic, spiciness, so cinnamon spice, main spice, vanilla, and this beautiful smell of shaving gels. This smell. How do you mix a smell of shaving gel with smell of brilliant, rich food smell, gourmand? And that's why this is accomplished perfumery. One of the nicest fragrances you can have in your collection. Initially, again, it smells only of lemon or a bit off, a bit cheap. Let it sit in your bottle, let it macerate. In a year's time, this will turn into a magical elixir. Some might say it's a very long time, but if you have a decent collection, what's a year? You know, if you have 50 fragrances in your collection, the time passes, and suddenly you reach for this bottle one day and you think, my God, what is this? Incredible, incredible fragrance. Absolute must-have if you're a serious collector and if you want to experience a very new kind of sensation. Very unique fragrance, niche quality, out and out. Next, again, niche quality fragrance for throwaway prices. It's an incredible woody oriental. It is Zeno by Davidoff. This one, again, uses the smell of shaving gel mixed with spiciness and then very patchouli forward, and then creamy woods and effervescent florals, lots of rich rose, jasmine, tremendous amounts of floral here. What a what a fragrance this is, guys. And it also has a fantastic note of Brazilian rosewood. I really enjoy fragrances with that note. It is slightly mature, spicy because of sage, but the fragrance when it dries down, it's just next level. As I said, accomplished perfumery. This, Jaipur, these sort of fragrances are so rare, and this is so good it was copied by Tom Ford. I've mentioned that in my detailed review as well. Next one is another, budget fragrance which smells like a very expensive niche fragrance, very accomplished. This is Armaf Niche Oud. Niche Oud is nothing to do with oud, a little bit, but mostly it's cedar, spices, lots of spices, and amber. One of the nicest amber that money can buy. It smells way too sweet when it's very cold. So bring it out in spring and autumn, warmer days, and you will see the magic in this fragrance. It reminds me of Serge Lutens and Ombre Sultan, which is one of my absolute favorite amber fragrances, and it is one of the most well-known amber fragrances out there. Niche Oud. I don't want to mislead you. This is not a clone of Serge Lutens, but when you wear it without wearing Serge Lutens Ombre Sultan, all you think of is Ombre Sultan. And if you have never smelled Ombre Sultan, this is one of the richest amber, which is labdanum. This is labdanum based, rich amber with vanilla, woods, cedar, hint of synthetic oud, and spices, tons of spices, and depth, complexity, all of that for less than £30. Incredible value. Bring it out when it's a little bit warm, not too hot, and you'll see the magic of this fragrance. It smells amazing. When it's too cold, it's a bit sugary sweet, which goes away from the magic it creates when it's warm. Last fragrance on the list is the best discovery I made last year. It's again a very nice clone. It's called Fragrance World Soir. It's a very nice clone of Maison Francis Kurkdjian's Baccarat Rouge and Grand Soir. It's a clone of Grand Soir, but it doesn't matter if it's a clone or not. On its own, this fragrance is beautiful. It's such a well-made fragrance, It uses super amber. So super amber is basically a synthetic molecule which has the smell of amber, but it's very dry. Rather than being heavy, it's a very dry, airy smell, and it really projects off your skin. And it's very pleasant. So people, when they smell it, they really get attracted to you, and they might give you a compliment as well. So this is a fragrance for people who are basically looking for a fantastic fragrance that will get them a compliment in any social scenario. I can also wear this to work if I was to put 2 on my skin. It's a beautifully made fragrance. It's ambery, it's got a custard-like smell, and it has a texture of crushed glass. And that's why I sometimes think about Baccarat Rouge. It's not. But what a beautiful, beautiful discovery this was. I've done a full review. I can recommend this to anybody who is looking for a great date night scent or a fragrance to get compliments, along with that one, Club de Nuit Intense Man. These are the 2 fragrances you need to have in your collection. If you have a small collection, you're just starting off, and you want fragrances which get you a positive reaction. So those are the 10 that I wore the most in winter and autumn of 2024-25. I thought I'll share with you. I'm hoping this will help you. Take care. Bye-bye.